going on. Thanks. Yeah, live. We are on live. We're 2 minutes.
Okay. Ready, Akka? Start, Chena.
Yes.
Okay. Hello, everyone. You're watching PMC USA. A very pleasant and a good morning, viewers. Welcome to Conscious Parenting Weekly Program. Thank you for all watching and loving our last week's session on Conscious Parenting by Ruth Freeman. That was an amazing session and got to learn more productive ways on conscious parenting and raising our children. Today, as promised last week, we are here with another great speaker, spiritual mother, Dr. Parvathi Devi garu. A dentist by profession, a loving mother to her beautiful kids, is here with us to share her spiritual wisdom and spiritual experiences with her divine birthing secrets. Blogging being her passion, she shares wisdom to all the mothers who are planning to conceive and also provides guidance for conventional parenting versus spiritual parenting. A brainchild of Dr. G.K. Sir, practicing his spiritual tablets personally and guiding many aspiring mothers by conducting regular sessions personally. She has been conducting sessions all over the major cities or states in India like Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Chennai, Kolkata, Bangalore, and some sessions in Malaysia as well. Today, she is here with us to provide us with her guidance and personal experiences on divine birthing and understanding spiritual motherhood. Welcome, Parvathi Devi, ma'am.
Yeah, hi, welcome everyone. So today I welcome you to the most beautiful session, which is required for every human being on earth. As every human being is born sometime, is being a parent sometime, and also a grandparent or a caretaker for someone. So it is a thing which every one of us must learn to be very conscious in growing our children or building a better society, because whatever we sow is what we reap. So keeping all these things in mind, so let us not waste any more time and let us move on to the session. So let's start with some beautiful slides. Just a second. Sorry. So I'm very happy because I am associated with conscious parenting. Because in previous sessions when I have attended Dr. Newton's session and Dr. GK's and Ayappa and Anita's session, it was immense pleasure for me because as a meditator who have been meditating for quite long, I share. I want to thank Brahmarshi Pitama Patriji and Dr. GK for being the greatest gurus in this path for me, who have given me all the chances to explore and enhance and experience this true being. So let's start the session. Yeah. So is the slideshow clear? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Can I continue? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So today we are going to explore so many things in this session. I made it very clear that I don't repeat anything which have been already shared by the previous masters, because I just want to give you something very interesting and surprising. Um, so I have taken this name called divine birthing because when we are giving birth to our children, it's we who are being born as parents, and it is we who are fortunate to evolve, to learn, and to create something out of us for the first time, and cherish that throughout our life. So birthing today is become so mechanical, because today most of the births happen in a hospital, that too in a very sick environment where really you don't find that excitement in the people who are participating in the birthing process. But when we see in ancient days, birthing was a celebration. You know, if for example, if any person is pregnant, right from the day when that lady or that woman is pregnant, there were so many ceremonies which were celebrated so that could feel a lot of energy for the coming child, and they could enjoy and cherish all those days. So this is a small story from Bhagavata where it mentions that when Krishna was born, the gopikas who are around, in the neighborhood of Krishna, had brought, warm water for Krishna, and they had taken care of the new mother Yashoda, and they have taken care of the little Krishna. So the small instinct can, sense that it is not what we give in form of any gifts or any big, costly things, but it is just a love or little care which we can share with the mother, which can make a huge difference. And that is what is needed. That is what we are missing today. So if you see this story of Buddha, so here the mother of Buddha dreams of a white elephant with a white lotus. So this story, if you see, this shows that there is a lot of importance being held about dreaming and other other dimensional things, or the experiences were given much importance to understand and welcome the baby to be born. So now let's start with the real core. So I'm just sharing the picture of the cesarean section rates which are currently in the globe throughout the world. So very sadly, in most of the places, the C-section rates are somewhere around 20 to 40. And in Brazil, it is highest, it is 55, and in Egypt, it is highest. So meditating and being into this type of spiritual path where we say no to medicines, and we believe health is all achieved through meditation and spiritual enlightenment. Still, most of the mothers who are into this path are also being undergoing these C-sections only because they are not having the knowledge of how to carry out their time or during the duration of their pregnancy in a very smooth way. I mean to say, like, what are the things to be done during pregnancy, and how to prepare your body for the labor, and how to give birth to a child, and the social society or the social well-being around is also, which is tossing for or hindering from having a normal birth. But if you see China, it had reduced its C-sections by 32% and had increased its vaginal birth by 9%. Just a second. So it has increased its vaginal birth by.
Sorry, ma'am.
Yeah, tell me.
Can you custom the slideshow? Because right now we can see all the slides somehow.
Okay.
Sorry, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the current slide. No, from the current slide, if you can click on that. Second one. Second
This
one
one?
on the, no, from the current slide.
Present on this one?
Then other one. No, the other one. Sorry, viewers. We are having some technical issues. The from current slide.
Is it right?
Yeah,
Is
good
it
man.
correct?
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, sorry for the inconvenience. So, it's if it is possible in China to reduce the C-section rates by 32% and increase the vaginal births, why not in other places? It is only a matter of conscious choice which we can make. It's a matter of only a conscious choice which we can make how we can reduce this. So the only solution what we have in today's current scenario is we can inculcate the habit of meditation and vegetarianism in the mothers and educating them with the prenatal classes. So, and the concept what Chinese have also added is they are going back to their roots. They have added herbal medicine and acupuncture, pre-birth acupuncture into their curriculum, which had brought enormous change or a drastic drop in their C-section levels. So now, as I have promised you that I'll try to share the knowledge which is which is worked by me completely for all these 12 years. So I have been working in this area of pregnancy with many pregnant women, where mostly every woman want to have a very smooth pregnancy, but it becomes a very big task in that too in these days where they have so much of stress in their work style or in their family, because they are in their individual lives, okay, because it's a small family. These high risk pregnancies are very common these days. So what I have worked in these cases is that how high risk pregnancies or complications in pregnancies can be reduced by applying various concepts of meditation and spiritual tablets into the during the period of pregnancy, because already in the previous sessions most of the masters have shared what to do during pregnancy when everything is normal. That is, it can be meditating, and it is vegetarianism, and speaking or talking to the baby, and playing the music for the baby, and going for a nature walk in a beach or a park. So all these things are again very normal, and it's almost required by everyone. But what now I'm going to share is the other side of the coin, which most of the mothers today face it. Okay, whether it could be pre-pregnancy, before conception, they have the PCOD problem or thyroid, which is hindering them to conceive, or even though they conceive, they tend to have some elements which are troubling them, or which are becoming a hindrance for them in having a smooth and joyful pregnancy. So now let us see what are things we can how we can overcome through the complications in the pregnancy. So these are some of the complications which are the most common complications. They are like gestational diabetes, thyroid, Pub's rash, which is also very quite common, and eczema and psoriasis, which who the people who have history of eczema and psoriasis in childhood, there is a very good tendency of repetitive or the recurrence during their pregnancy. And even the women, approximately 20% of the women who don't have this history of childhood eczema or psoriasis also tend to get it during the pregnancy. And the others are like varicose veins, anemia. It's very common because during pregnancy, there is a very huge demand of the hemoglobin, because there is a huge, changes happening in your body, that is the development of the fetus. It demands a lot of nutrition. So during this period, it's very important for the mother to take a proper diet. That anyway, that is the part which we can do physically. But coming to spiritually, what we have to do, that I'm going to discuss further. So the others are like acidity, gastritis, which is very common in pregnancy, preeclampsia, and anxiety, and cysts like cysts in the uterus, or any such if some have mastitis. So all these type of things, these are the cases which have prominently I have addressed from many of the meditators, and some people who are already not meditators, who are already not vegetarians. So for them, as soon as they enter into meditation and they become vegetarians, things work out fine. But for the people who are already meditating, who have been meditating and who are vegetarians, there is still a scope to and enhance themselves by learning something which can bring out of their elements, because it is the mental structure of them which is creating these problems, which is attracting these problems. Because we know that physical intellect is the fruit and spiritual intellect is the root. So your spiritual intellect which is existing is attracting these complications during your pregnancy. So, so now coming to gestational diabetes. So this is, I think it's the most common problem which at least 50% of mothers face, because that too with a sedentary lifestyle today, it is a very common issue. But this can be overcome. Here I want to share my experience when I was pregnant. Then everything was fine initially, like in the first 3 months. Then in my third month of my pregnancy, I had chicken pox. Then that is a measles. Then during that period, it is little complicated, because there is a high chance of having baby with impaired organogenesis. That is, any of the organs may not be properly developed. It can be limbs, or upper limb or the lower limb, or eyes. So there are pretty good chances. So the doctor was clearly saying me that it is not a good idea to carry this baby, because there are high chances of malformations. Then I told, okay, let's see, and then we'll decide. Then I waited for 2 more months. Anyway, whatever I'm meditating and my routine is the same. So in my 5th month of my pregnancy, even I've gone for a TIFA scan, that is the anomaly scan. So surprisingly, everything was all right. My baby was perfectly all right. I know that my baby is all right, but science needs all evidences after all. So my gynecologist, who is also a meditator, she got convinced, and she also felt happy for me. Then after my 7th month, I started to gain 5 kgs a month. So that is totally an abnormal and a very undesirable thing which can happen for a pregnant woman. So I have gained 15 kgs of weight during my last trimester of my pregnancy. Then during my first glucose tolerance test, oral glucose tolerance test, it came, my glucose levels were normal. So then still we have a suspicion that what could be the reason for the weight gain. And my thyroid level was normal, my T3, T4 levels were normal. Then during almost when I was just 10 to 15 days to my due date, I had gone for one more OGTT test, that is oral glucose tolerance test. Then there were high levels of glucose. Then my gynecologist asked me to take insulin. Then I said, like, till now I had never used any medicines. After coming into meditation, everything I could get out of it just with meditation. So just give me a try. Then the wife and husband, who is means he himself is a pediatrician, and both of them tried to convince me by explaining me the various complications that can happen during gestational diabetes. It could be a greater weight of the baby, or increased liquor pouches, or it can be the baby may be born still, which is called as insulin shock. So any of these complications could happen if you are not careful. So that is what they want me. I told me, just give me a week's time, and in a week time, if everything is normal, it's fine. Otherwise, I'll take the insulin. So this is what I promised my doctor. So after a week, after a week, everything had got normal. So what is the magic that happened during this period is that meditation is what I have been doing always. But the pancreas, which is the Manipurka chakra area, that is a powerhouse. And also the misuse of the power can cause diabetes in spiritual terminology. So then I sat down myself, I started writing what is the places where I need to put my energy to reach my spiritual children, and also to be a part of the universal program. So when I started to do that, in that 1 week, I didn't, saying the truth, I'm a very foodie, and I didn't do any diet, or I didn't cut down my sugar, or I didn't cut down my rice, anything. But my glucose levels were absolutely normal, and even my HB, hemoglobin. Which is done for the 3 months, random, that was also normal. So glycosylated hemoglobin, that was also normal. So that shows a very good, control. But frankly speaking, there is no big difference in my physical appetite, but only my spiritual appetite has changed. So with this, I got a lot of confidence, because, with a normal life, it is different. But when you're pregnant, you have another life, a little miniature creation who is into your tummy, and you are absolutely responsible for what is happening. So that is what worried me, but I could successfully get over it. Then I have done some cases of thyroid, then puffs rash, and anemia. So in thyroid, it is particularly the Vishuddha chakra, where the mother need to improve her qualities of Vishuddha chakra, that is the proper or the scientific speech. Sorry, the scientific speech, and losing the fear of existence of the, means whatever she is speaking, she should be independent and she should lose that fear. So these two things, and learning music, and staying in silence, is what generally I prescribe to the patients. I don't call them patients, of course, the mothers who approach me with this problem. So it works wonders. And most of the times, they go completely drugless. And sometimes when the gynecologist is very much particular, there could be some malformations or reduced brain development, compromised brain development. There we go with a very low dosage of T3 or T4. So just like that, we have multiple examples, even for anemia, which is a very common thing for most of the women, even not only during pregnancy, even in the pre-pregnancy period, most of the women face this. And the iron capsules which they give causes acidity. And even I personally, I means my when my hemoglobin was 11.6, my gynecologist asked me to take the iron pill, and that was my last trimester, and had severe vomiting sensation. And she asked me, okay, you can leave it, but take lot of greens and all wheat and all this. So, but if you take the spiritual reason for anemia, it is basically fear is one of the thing, definitely. And the second thing is the circulatory forces concept, what we teach, that is accepting the fame, or someone scolds you, or someone applauds you, you need to take it in a neutral state. Or when you spend money, or when you earn money, both have to be in balance. So like that, it is a circulation. So this, when we teach this concept, and when we identify where the mother is going wrong, so very quickly, within days, they get all right. Because even with the usage of the iron capsule, what they give, the ferritic acid, it takes at least a month of time. But with this, I have seen some cases where they have recovered within 15 to 20 days, and still, and a very good amount of recovery. So it's all our mind, and it's all your spiritual learning, which is trying to guide you towards your learning in the form of a disease. It's not harming us, my dear friends. It's just trying to tell us that we are lacking something, which when we learn, we are going to explore a new dimension, and we are going to get more and more happiness and abundance. So these are how I've applied the spiritual tablets in the pregnancy. So the affirmations for normal delivery, the affirmations can be anything. Like the most of the websites, you have so many affirmations given, but mostly I prefer affirmations like which starts from the pre-pregnancy, which involves the whole pregnancy, and also postnatal care or the postpartum care, which includes the recovery of the mother's or the maternal health, so that this will help in cases where there are many cases where the case could be ideal for a normal delivery, but due to some reason they had to go for C-section. So in those cases, I found it so much useful. Um, in those cases, I found it so much useful because the mothers who had C-section also, they had almost a near experience like a normal delivery, because the affirmations help them, their body to recover, because you're continuously educating your body, the process which is going to happen, and you're continuously guiding your body to heal in a particular way. So definitely the body will respond more better than the person who don't do all these things. That change is very clearly what I've observed. And one more thing, what I wanted to share very clearly is that the in recent times there is a lot of research being done on microbial flora of a newborn baby. So when you take a microbial flora of a newborn baby through its saliva or anything, so or the nasal discharge, so they found that it is very close to the mother's gut flora. Gut is the stomach, so and the intestine. So they found it very close to the mother's gut flora, and this happens only in the case of babies who are born vaginally, but not the babies with C-section. So, a famous research scholar had his wife who had delivered with C-section due to some complication. There is no other go. Had started this technique where he applied, like he have soaked that a gauze or cotton of piece of it in the vagina of the mother to deliver, and it secretes all the hormones and the secretions, which is later applied to the baby completely, the mouth, nose, and the whole body, to give that a microbial suit which they are gifting for the newborn. Because the babies who are born with this type of microbial flora have been proved to be more immune than the other babies who are exposed to the hospital environment, where there are you have bacteria like clostridium and all, which is not at all a healthy sign. But exposing themselves to the mother's microbial flora is really wonderful. They have very good immunity, and they have very good lung capacity, and they are very resistant to infections. So this is mostly practiced by many doctors these days. So that is about what I wanted to speak about the microbial suit. So this is a technique which I have found. I don't say it's found. It is useful because I discovered it, because it's always existing in the universe. So when I was pregnant, there was so much of negative talk around me. Some say, you are short, or some say if the person is thin, they say you're thin. If they are tall, they say you're tall. So whatever is the reason, they start trying to impose you with their own ideas of not having a normal delivery, because today it is a very big common thing to go for a C-section. So, and many other things, so don't eat more, or they start conditioning your mind. Okay, don't do this, don't do that. If you do this, this is going to happen. So by listening to all this, the pregnant woman gets so sick, you just can't imagine. So I found this technique is very helpful for me. I always created a positive shield of energy just by visualizing a light, which it can be of any color which suits you. Means, for me, I feel very comfortable with the blue light or the violet light. So whatever is the color which strikes in your mind is the color which is correct for you. Okay. So just visualize that color of shield of bubble around you, and imagine or visualize yourself being completely protected in that. By doing this, whatever is unnecessary talks which is coming into your energy field or disturbing your energy field vibrations can be minimized, and it helps a lot. in undergoing, because I have applied in some others, and they told me this is very useful because when they are approaching their due date, there are so much of chaos around you that these days everywhere it is C-section, or someone had a baby like this, someone had like that. So all this will disturb the effort what the mother had kept for a very long time. So this is about the positive shield creation, which they can do it. So I also tell my young mothers or everyone who approach me that don't don't resist anything, because the possibilities, the universe is the ultimate event planner. Like whatever is a possibility which is front of you. If, for example, most of the times, most of the gynecologists, when you approach them, they first start preparing your mind for C-section, because in today's lifestyle where you don't have any clue of what a labor can be, or how can you give birth to your baby, and you don't have any prenatal classes. Okay, now there is increasing, but they are still not sufficient. They don't have any spiritual intention in that. They only work only on the physical level in terms of pregnancy yoga, or water aerobics for the pregnant woman. So these all are things physically which we are doing, but there is no spiritual angle, and the mental peace which pregnant women should get is not she's getting. So what I tell is, if someone says something, you just stay neutral to that, because the universe has its plan. You just accept it. Because when I had my delivery, so I have joined, and my pains have started in the night 10 o'clock. The severe pains, the severe contractions have started at night 10 o'clock, and it took me around 5 hours. That was my first delivery. So around 2 o'clock my baby was born, but at 1:30 my gynecologist rang me up and told me, I think it's too long, because since morning I had false pains. So at night 1:30 she told me, I think it's too long and we need you and baby to be safe. So I think we need to go for a C-section, because she is so fixed in her mind that because of the criteria what I have been into, it's very difficult to go for a normal. But I accepted. I just told, okay, ma'am, whatever it is, I'm ready. And she arrived in the hospital, and she was getting ready with her dresses and theater dress and all. And as soon as she was supposed to enter, just before 5 minutes, the nurse ran to her and told that, ma'am, the head had popped out. And she came to me and told, the head had popped out, and all your hard work is going to manifest. And no, just don't give up. And just hold for little more time, and your baby is going to come out. Okay, so then I had a normal. So till my last moment, I just believed that it's going to happen, but I'm accepting the possibility that any other thing is also happening. I'm not going to depress myself, or I'm not going to resist it, because we never know what is the other side of a coin which is being played by the universe. Okay, so this is other meditation what I have found it useful, because all these type of things I have done it for the first time on myself, and I found them useful. I have learned it, because I listen complaint from some others that sleep talk don't work for them, and of course it don't work very good for me. My spouse, it works for him, and he is the one who gives the sleep talk to my children, but I connect to my children telepathically, because I have a very strong bonding with them in telepathic sense, because right from the pregnancy I have been contacting with them and speaking with them telepathically. So I found this heart chakra meditation very useful in case of having the children, when we want to communicate with them, because mostly when the baby is born. So now let's start the story. What actually happens when the baby is born? So as soon as the baby decides, or the soul decides to come onto the earth plane, it visits the father soul just before 5 months of its coming into the mother's womb, and it takes an agreement with the father and looks out all the surroundings which is happening around, and again it goes back. And then before a month or so, it comes back to the mother's womb and make an agreement with the mother. Only when we are conscious, you can sense all those things. When you're not conscious, you don't know any of these things. You just tend to be a normal person, just you carry your pregnancy, but you don't know the things were happening behind there. So because in science also what they say, the movement starts only after 5 months, fifth month. But I could sense my baby movement in my third month. So it's like that, what the science say, it keeps on changing, but what you sense or perceive from the universe, it is what is the truth. So when the baby comes down to the mother's womb and it starts developing, it's a biggest blessing for a mother to experience that, because a single cell, that is a zygote, that's the sperm and ova which came together to form a zygote, multiplies and multiplies to form a big ball of cells, and then it starts dividing and it forms the various organs. It's the same cell, but it had formed multiple and numerous organs in your body, which are different, with different types of cells and different functions. Then who had signaled your body to form those different organs? So this is a big question for the science even today. What is it signaling all the proteins and the cells to divide in such a way and to form such organs and form those, the cellular level of those organs? What is all this happening, and how is it happening without any signaling? So now there is a lot of research being going on in that area. So once the baby is formed and it is growing in your womb, it takes baby quite a lot time to ground to the earth's energies, because the baby is coming from a higher plane, and it is little difficult for the baby to adjust to the environment which is around you, which is more of a personality oriented or a physical dimension. So as soon as after the baby is born, it takes around 2 to 3 months for the baby to completely ground to the earth's energies. So during this period, the babies will feel so much that panicking type of cry they have, and it takes time for them to adjust to the circadian rhythm. It takes time for them to sleep. They don't sleep in according to our times. It could be, they don't sleep at night. It is they sleep at whatever time they like. So it is because the soul is taking time to ground to the earth's energies. The physical body is trying to adapt to the earth's energies and grounding itself. So during this process, this heart chakra meditation is very helpful, because whatever you say, you speak, the baby may not respond, because already it is in a little bit of this kind of inconvenience. So during this period, when you start visualizing your heart chakra and you connect it with the baby's heart chakra just by visualization, or what I am saying is just a visualization, and you meditate and you convey your message, the babies will soothe down. If you want the baby to sleep, you just close your eyes and you just visualize you are connected to the baby's heart chakra, and you are falling into a sleep. Then slowly the baby will soothe down. So like that, this chakra meditation will work very well for the infants. And and next, coming to the dominant parent, this I wanted to speak about this, because always men, they feel, they face that injustice where the mother gets whole credit of giving birth to a baby and taking care of the baby and grooming baby, but it is not true all the time. Every soul chooses a dominant parent. For example, if a baby is born in the lineage of a father, then the father will be the dominant parent, and the culture and the habits of the father feels very comfortable for the baby, and the baby loves father more and feels more comfortable with the father. And situations are created so that the father stays more with the baby, or the father's family stays with the baby, vice versa. So the dominant parent is the one who is going to play an active role in the baby's growth, development, and also the soul evolution. So next, these are the beautiful changes which happen in a brain of a mother, of new mother. So if you can see the new mother before conception and after conception, you can see some yellow color areas which are being indicated as the active areas. So before a mother is a mother is born, in the sense before being a mother, some areas of your brain are not really activated. But as soon as you become a mother, you become more attentive, and especially the medial area of your brain becomes more activated, and you become more intuitive, and the gray matter reduces in the brain. It doesn't mean you are going to lose your memory, but it only tells you that it gives you the less time for the society or the social interaction, because it is going to decrease your response to the social living, means whether it can be family or the society. Now the response what you give for them is decreased, because now your whole attention as a mother completely goes to the baby. So coming to this is about oxytocin experiment which have been done. This is the latest research. So in this research, they have found that the new fathers who are attached to the baby and who take care of the baby, not round the clock, or at least for most of the time, they have found that in the sputum or the saliva, they have found equally good amount of oxytocin equal to the mothers. Oxytocin is a hormone which is responsible for the birth of the baby in the laboring process, and also for the ejection of the milk during breastfeeding. But what it has to do with the in a male body, that's what we need to question. But this oxytocin is very important for forming a bond between the baby and the father. So this is the nature's neuroscience, which it's out of our thinking and our scope. So the neuronal activities of the infant brain. Okay. So I think we have more 20 minutes, right? Or 15 minutes.
Yes, madam.
Okay. So these things anyway, I think most of the people discuss about neuronal pruning, that is the natural death of the neurons if we have not utilized. So use or disuse or discard. So playing a music for the baby throughout the day, right from the infant, and also in the pregnancy stage, or in the in the infant in the gestational period, will help to improve it, because it activates multiple areas in the brain that are important for the vision, balance, hearing, speech, sensation, skill, movement, and emotion. So it had proved that it is not only phylogenetically related but also ontogenically. That means that this impact is not just which you are carrying with your baby, but this can pass through the next generations. So emotional needs of an infant. So we have less time. So we are going to cut short these things and discuss further about the problems which we face, health problems in the infants. Okay, because these are the psychological part of things which I think most of the masters also discuss. But if I get a chance in any other session, definitely we'll do it in detail. So this is my daughter. So this is her first day. So learning is a continuous process. Only with learning the children evolve. So it is very important to provide them the mind stuff what they require to evolve as a good beings. So I just rush up with the small things what we need to do with infants. So it's good, not bad, to be intelligent. So appreciate your child's smallest observation in the smallest achievement. And so whatever they do, just appreciate it and cherish it, and that is the way they grow and evolve. If you resist, it will persist. So whatever habits your child is having in this point of time, or whatever they are doing, something naughty or crazy, so don't worry about them. This is all a part of their journey to explore the universe, and what codes they're getting from the universe, they're just decoding in their form. The moment what they do, which is called as twitching during the sleep, it is a way which the universe has created to improve their muscle tone, so that they can walk at the end of their 7th or 8th month or 10th month. So everything what is happening with them in this point of time during their first 3 years is all continuously guided through the universe with the nature. Means either they throw something or they try to eat something, whatever they get, they pick, they put it in their mouth. This you call as oral phase, which is very important. If you resist them for putting those things in their mouth, when they stop experiencing that, it causes something called as oral fixation. So in the later ages, they have severe psychological problem in controlling their diet or what they speak and what the way they can cherish the food. So likewise, anal fixation. When you do the potty training, you shouldn't be too harsh with them, because if you're harsh, that causes something called as anal fixation, which causes personalities like Hitler, who is very rude, because you have done the same thing to your child. The child learns the same thing in their early age, so that reflects in their personality and it grows still more. So this anal fixation will cause bad behavior. So this is one of the main reasons for the increased crime rate today in the world, because now since 5 6 generations, very few mothers are taking care of their children, or they are being having this knowledge of growing their children in a spiritual means. Next, this too will pass away. So any habit or anything what they're doing for learning sake, so don't worry for it, it's going to fade away. Allow them to explore as much as possible and understand. This is very much important, which mostly I listen from most mothers who complain me that my child has not taken food for last 2 days, my child is not interested in eating this, eating that. So being a spiritual being, just understand it's not the food, the physical food what you're giving is the thing which is nourishing your baby. It is the prana or the life force which the baby gets. Even without eating food, a man can or a human can sustain for a week. Okay. So understanding this, just respect child's need, and when they're hungry, you feed them, and when they're not hungry, understand that something is happening in their body, and let's cooperate and give them some fluids or whatever they wish to eat. And we need not judge the food, because whatever you give them, I don't mean junk foods, but what I mean, when they don't want to eat the food what they eat regularly, just understand them and give them the space to choose their food. This will help in the later stages when they grow. They won't be anymore a confused personality. They know to choose whatever they want consciously, and you need not guide them or do a babysitting when they are 15 or 20 years, because most of the parents, they complain me at the age of 15, 20, still they need so much of guidance. It is because during their early childhood, you have restricted them in exploring everything. You didn't give them any choice to choose. So with this thing, I want to try a 2 minute session of meditation. Means it's not meditation, but I want you to experience what a child experience, so that we all will learn how much the child is going through because of her ignorance. So just play the music in a very low tone. I'll just keep guiding for just 2 minutes, and after that we'll do meditation for 10 minutes. Okay. So, okay, I'll start the guidance. So just visualize you. Okay. Can you lower down the voice a little bit more? Can you reduce it a little bit? Yeah. So, visualizing self as a 1-year-old child, allowed to hold new things. Just stop the music. Yeah. So because stop. Yeah. So because the voice is not clear, I just wanted you people to experience exactly what your child must have undergone or you have undergone during your childhood. So just visualize yourself as a child. Just close your eyes and visualize yourself as a child of 1 year old who is very naughty and want to explore everything, wanted to touch the fire lamp, or you wanted to put your hand into the bucket of water, or just crawl into the bathroom, and you have been stopped by your mother? Just imagine what would be your reaction for being not allowing to do whatever you want. Just visualize that small cute face, and now you're 2 years old. You started walking and you wanted to try so many things in your life. You wanted to walk alone without your mother, or you want to sit in the balcony and just see the beautiful weather outside. But just think, your mother came and restricted you not to be alone or not to be sitting in the balcony so that you may peep out through the grill or you may fall down. Just think what sort of disappointment must the child must have faced in that saying of no. Just visualize when you're 3 years old. You started moving everything and you wanted to speak out something to your mother, and she's busy with her gadgets, or your father is busy with your gadgets, and you wanted to express something, but you couldn't. So just visualize what would be the tiny face look like. Is it not so injustice to interfere in one's own freedom in life? Whether it could be a child, now you're a 5-year-old child. Just visualize. You started going to the school, but you don't wanted to go to school in your first few days because you are being detached from your mother. You have been crying for the whole day, just being stubborn that you don't want to go to school. What could be your emotion? What type of emotion you could have been facing, and what you want to express to your mom, but they are not ready to understand. If you're still growing older, if you're 7 years old, you started to write and you started to speak more. Now just visualize. Since you didn't do your homework, your favorite things are not given to you. Is it not an injustice to your baby? Since you poured your watercolors on the floor and they're going to tan your floor, your mother scolded you. What is the pain or the frustration or the irritation what you're facing? When you want to tell this is a thing which can happen commonly. When you're having your food, you dropped it all around your plate and you continuously get the instructions not to do so. Is it not annoying? And if you're 14 years old, you have so many friends around, but for you, your mother is the only best friend or your father is the only best friend. But now, still you want to explore outside with your friends without any restrictions, and you want to develop your social being by exploring the new people and the new peer group, developing your own individuality. And still your mother keeps saying you need to grow up still more to do this. What are your feelings and emotions? Just think, if we are the baby and we are crossing all these emotions, just visualize what much of pain we have gone through right from her childhood. That could not be a sin, but it is only the impatience of the parents which is causing fixation in your brain. But it is time to lose all that. It is the time to become free from all those bonding and fixations and see your new being. Is it not? Now slowly coming back to your consciousness, just feel your body, your feet. You're totally grounded. close on your eyes. And open your eyes. So I don't know how many of you have got properly connected with this because this need to be done in a very slow pace. Then maybe we feel that connection with the thing what is happening. So I hope you people are connected with what I have tried to guide and try to experience what we must have gone through in our childhood and so many fixations in our mind and so many limitations and thinking which we have developed in our mind. So I think the time is done. We have two experiences to be shared. So kindly, Deepti, can you share those experiences? So experiences which are being shared.
Hi friends, good evening one and all.
I can't see the video.
Sharing my experience in now I am going to sharing my experience in pregnancy.
Please share Purnima's experience.
Pregnancy time, I'm doing more meditation and vegetarian and talking with my baby and taking healthy food. First myself, I'm clearly positive thinking and activeness. I'm doing whatever I'm doing, I'm winning and in first filling my body in positiveness. So after I'm doing meditation, morely concentrating with my pure spiritual parenting in concept. Parenting is a wonderful moment because in baby my home telling knowledge in spiritual way, what is meditation, what is nature, what is beautiful, what is whatever talking every day we have to talk my baby. So we have a 100%ly following Devi madam.
Hi everybody, my name is Purnima Bhatt. I live in Canada. Right now I am in India. Today I would like to share how my parenting journey has been. I'm a mother of 3 years old child and I'm totally connected to him. I always been even in pregnancy, and I'm all thanks to spiritual tablet class and Dr. Parvathi Devi who gave us so much information about conceiving, carrying a child and making a labor process very easy. So I'm all thanks to her. So I would like to share few things who are going to be parents and who are parents. The very first thing I did when I wanted to conceive, apart from my all other disadvantages, which is I had PCOD and I had to go through many processes like having a healthy diet, exercise, positive thinking, always indulge in positive activities like music or books reading, meditation and yogasanas. So I kept myself prepared for carrying a child and giving a rightful education for my child. I can say it was a miracle that I conceived and I was so happy. And then I came to know about spiritual tablet. So I thought to have more information and learn something different during this precious time so that my child is connected with all these spiritual things too. Dr. Parvathi Devi taught me about having a positive mindset always, no matter how hard it is, and always be grateful that you are being a parent and carrying a child, and you are going to have that experience in this lifetime. I remember she told me to shield myself and my thoughts against all negative aspects, like negative comments or the way people tell you. You may get scared of how labor process will be and how difficult it is. So Dr. Devi guided me during my 7th month that start visualize how your labor process will be, how easy it will be, and how cooperate your body will be. When it comes to pregnancy, you have to have so much positive aspects in your life, like healthy diet, positive affirmations, talking to your baby and connecting. It's so essential. I tried to do that, and it worked really great. Not only mother, even the father have to keep talking to baby in order to connect with her or him. When I delivered a baby, the next moment they kept the baby on my chest and they asked me to talk to the baby, and I kept talking. Miraculously, my baby, he was responding to me and he was looking into my eyes and smiling. That was really a great experience. During the pregnancy, I had gestational diabetes. I took it so positive, and an advantage to prevent overeating or sitting all the time. Instead, I used to walk after every meal, had a perfect portion of healthy diet, and most importantly, kept being confident to myself. When it comes to postnatal care, always I carried away my routine, like have a healthy diet, meditation, especially book reading. I wanted to connect with my baby and transfer all my wisdom to my baby. And I kept reading even while feeding my baby. And I would suggest all the parents and to be parents or who are carrying the baby 5 routines in their life. And I have adopted the same thing when I was pregnant and when I was trying to be pregnant. And even now, as a parent, I don't miss even a day without these 5 aspects, which are: first one is yoga, and the second aspect is meditation. Third thing is reading spiritual book or any inspirational book. The fourth thing is always think positive, and no matter how the situation is, you will get through it. The fifth one, healthy diet. So I have dedicated all my time to my baby while I was carrying him, and I can see the result now. And he's following all the things I follow, which are music, meditation, or reading. So I have heard that child won't listen to you what you say, they follow you what you do. So that's the reason changing our routine and eliminating the bad habits or wasting time or watching series or anything, that won't help you have a good connection with your baby. The only thing is what you do and how positively you live your life. That's what make best result. Thanks for the opportunity to share my experience and how my parenting has been. Thank you.
That was the experience. So hope it was useful to all the viewers. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, PMC USA. Ma'am, you're on mute. And here, please. No, I can't hear you. Yeah.
We can't hear you, Dipti. Thank you for your lovely session, Parvati. I know it looks like there is some technical difficulties
Yes,
that
ma'am.
we had to take care of. It was really a lovely session because knowing the parent, being a parent or going to be a parent is something that everybody would aspire of. And then you're giving us the opportunity to tell us how, like how to be going to be a mom. That is really insightful, and the experiences are really great. And we really appreciate your time and effort. And thank you once again for all your time and effort. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.